All right, so two text passages. We can tell it's two texts because it has two texts, and also because it says based on the text something, but yeah, they're two. So these ones can be kind of slippery. For two text passages, we can do a lot of sneaky strategy stuff with the caveat. So caveat, one of my favorite words, and it's Latin for lookout, and it means look out. So so the caveat here is if I tell you anything where I'm like, oh, you don't even need to read the paragraph, just ignore it, don't read it. Um, that means do the strategy, but if you're not 110% confident that, oh, this answer is correct and this answer is wrong, if you just go on vibes, then just read the thing. Well, there are some examples of this specific strategy where you need to very, very carefully assess your own thinking. So there's a term called metacognition that just your quick psychology tip of the day. Although if you're interested in this stuff, I do have a free class on Udemy about the science of learning. But use your metacognition. That means thinking about thinking. So if you look at answer A and you say, oh, yeah, that word makes A wrong because that word is just not what I read. It's wrong. Cross it out. Great. But if you look at A and you're like, it feels bad. A feels wrong. Don't cross it out if you didn't read the thing. Okay. Because I've done that and I've gotten it wrong. And yeah, just don't. All right. Anywho, so that's the caveat. Now we're going to go over the super sneaky strategy. So you always have text one and text two. Usually it asks about the perspective of text two. Now, in this example, it says both authors, but usually it'll say something like, how would the author of text two respond to the statement in text one? So we have to look at the question and say, okay, are we in the perspective of text two? Usually you are, but not always. So yeah, how would the author of text two respond? Okay, great. We are going to then not read text one at all. And the order does matter. We'll talk about that. So we're going to ignore text one completely, and we would then read text two quite carefully. So we're reading text two, the whole thing. I mean, they're short. And then we would go straight to the answers, looking for tone and opinion. So for me, the way that I do these with students is I acknowledge we skipped reading literally half of it. So we have to be humble. But if it's the wrong opinion, then I know that it's wrong. So for example, if this example is not an easy one to start with, but if text two says antibacterial hand soap is overused, and if we use too much antibacterial hand soap in the day-to-day, we're going to create super bacteria, and people need to be careful about it. And then we look at answer choice A, and answer choice A is like antibacterial hand soap is really good. We should use it every day. We can cross that out. It's clearly the wrong opinion. Um, but a lot of the times we might read an answer choice and we're like, I don't really know. Like I skipped reading half of it. I don't really know if I can cross it out. So just leave it. Don't cross it out. Just go on to the next one. Our goal is to eliminate what we can. If you then are stuck between a couple of answers, you're not totally sure, sure, go back and read text one, and that's totally fine. But the reason why this is really beneficial, so this is not just useful because it saves time. So it does save time, which is very useful. But it also avoids traps because a lot of the time answer choices will use the exact same words as in the wrong text. So if we've just read both text one and text two, and then we see an answer choice that says the same words as in text one, our brain might just kind of say, oh, I recognize that. That seems right. We might mix up who said what. And by completely avoiding reading this, we can not get caught out by that. But there is, this only kind of works one way because text two is some kind of a response to text one in general. So that is, if text two says antibacterial hand soap is overused, if we use it too much, it's really bad. We're going to have super bacteria. We need to be cautious. What can we guess text one is saying? What could we guess text one would be saying about antibacterial hand soap? Oops. So we could probably guess that it would be saying like, "Oh, antibacterial hand soap, it's so good. We should use it every day." And then the response to that is text two, which is like, "Ah, don't do that." Um, the problem is it doesn't work the other way. We can't assume, at least in my experience, which I suppose is a lot, we can't assume what text two is saying from text one. So, for example, if text one says antibacterial hand soap is so good, we should use it every day. We don't know if text two is going to be saying, no, don't do that. You could create superbacteria. Maybe text two would respond to that by saying, yes, but you should also carry around those little antibacterial things that like were really popular during the pandemic and they have fun scents, and you should use that too. Or maybe it'll say, oh, yes, you should do that, but some people are allergic to certain hand soaps, so they should buy different products. Like, we don't know what the response will be. So if you get a question that says the perspective of text one, you probably are going to have to read the whole thing. I don't know. You can always try it, right? If you read just text one and you can cross out a couple answers, great. And if you can't, then just say, oh, I'll read text two. Great, no harm done. Um, all right, the other thing is the both authors. So here, this is both authors. Um, I still would keep to this strategy. If it asks about both authors, I would read text two. Um, and then I would eliminate answers without reading text one yet. Because again, so I really need to write up the passage about hand soap. It's a lot easier than this. So let's say that like okay, we know text two hates antibacterial hand soap because of superbugs. All right, so let's say A says text one likes believes, or even like both authors agree that antibacterial hand soap is necessary and useful in daily life. So right away, I'd say, I don't love this. Like, okay, maybe if they said like it's necessary in hospitals, but if their whole thing is that it's like overused, they probably wouldn't say daily life. So we could cross that out even without reading text one. Or if they said something like, while text one focuses on the origins of antibacterial, text two focuses on practical applications. Um, and again, this is like, it doesn't matter if we've read text one or not, because text two, we just said their entire point that we just made up was that they hate antibacterial hand soap and they think it's scary and could create superbacteria. That has nothing to do with the practical application. So it doesn't matter that we didn't even read text one. Text two is wrong. We can cross it out. So again, I know this is not that. Yeah, so I would still stick with this strategy even when it asks about both authors. Again, the caveat being, if you look at an answer and you're not sure if you can cross it out, maybe you're not sure about A, don't cross it out. Keep it as a maybe. Then go back and read the thing. You'll be fine. Just,